Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over Rello's defense. Rello is a streamer, and I'll have all of his links down in the description below if you want to check out some of his stuff. He sent me his defensive picks. By the way, if you want to be featured on Defense Up, those links are in the description as well. Find me on Discord, message me. We'll get you on the list, and we can go over your defense live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Currently streaming right now in the mornings. And you can jump in voice and talk to us while we go over your defense, or you can just hang out and chat, or you could just wait for your video to pop up on YouTube. It's your choice. Anyways, Rello is, I believe, 30 million operating in Diamond 1. Remember, every roster is different. So these are ideas, and you'd have to apply them to the size and shape of your roster. Team number 1 is a great team to be putting in room 1 with the portable shield device. The strikers work well. They don't ever get offense down. However, they also have usually immunity and safeguard and stuff like that. Also, this team tends to have a lot of the same positive effects, so making Nebula a fortifier to spread redundant positive effects is kind of a waste. Keep her a skirmisher. You're going to get more damage out of those double taps. You're going to be doing a lot of better stuff with her as a skirmisher. If you want to change somebody's ISO, you could change out a Warlock to a skirmisher, giving him that focus boost to help him land his ability block, but honestly, you don't need to do that. Run it as a standard team. You don't have to change anything. It's just solid. The Infinity Watch is just a great team, always has been. It's a little late in the game to be building them, but if you have them, use them in room 1, use them with their standard ISOs. So for me, this is a B. That's a pretty detrimental change, that fortifier there. I don't like that. Team number 2, this isn't great. So I'm going to spoil it for you. Team number 3 is the Gamma team. Team number 2 is normally an unlimited team. Since Rello's got Gamma on defense, he's keeping his unlimited for offense. Jgiustiand, by the way, who was on voice with us, helping us out, along with Dulom and who was the other person? And Zero was in there on voice, and of course chat was helping too. Jgiustiand likes to put unlimited on offense right now. He says they've got more opportunities to kill things than they just kind of get walked over on defense at this point. However, you could do unlimited with Phoenix. That's kind of working well. It's a little bit of a spin on the unlimited team. Or you could swap out Phoenix on this composition with Wolverine and Kitty with Iceman. That Wolverine, if he's big enough, he kind of slaps, and you could get some damage out of them. That might work better than this. Otherwise, and here's the best thing, probably for Rello's roster, the best thing to do is swap this team out with a YA team is going to be the way to go. Yeah, Young Avengers here, standard ISO settings. It's just treat it like a blank room. That would be a good fit. This is so out of the meta. It's kind of garbage. I'm going to give this one a D. I think we got to do something different in here. I don't really like it. All right, team number 3 is the Gamma team. What we want to do here is we want to take Green Hulk out of the mix, and we're going to throw in Nova instead. So you will have a positive battlefield effect from Nova and a negative battlefield effect on the enemy from your Red Hulk. Doing double duty with this team. It's another threat. Makes this team way scary. Worst case scenario, it's going to pull some of their biggest stuff. And they're really going to have to come into this to make sure that they can get it killed. Placement is going to depend on what you're using. If you're going to use this variation, the 5-piece, then we're thinking go Green Hulk, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, then Abomination, and then Brawn from right to left. If you're going to use Nova in here, we might do something completely different. But you could probably, I mean, honestly, the placement in this game is becoming less and less relevant, because unless a character has something adjacent in their kit to adjacent allies, it doesn't matter too much on the placement. Although Red Hulk matchups are kind of tricky because rewind your turn meter on turn 1 and stuff like that. So, yeah, Nova in place of Green Hulk. Otherwise, honestly, this team gets an A, but I would like, actually, I'm going to go A-. I would like the placement tweak. But let's take out Green Hulk and throw in Nova here because we got something better going on later down the line. Room number 4 is Wakandans, and we're not talking about Wakandans today. It's a boring matchup. We know how it goes. Room number 5 is the Darkhold with APOC. Now, I like keeping Apocalypse on offense. There is a composition I use with him and Doom that kind of crushes everything, and I like using that. It just works really well. So I like keeping APOC on offense. The 5-piece on this team works really well. You can also use Kingpin in here as a 5th, but if you want to put APOC in here, makes the team that much tougher. It's a good choice. So I would give this team an A, but we have 2 problems. We got a placement issue with Wong. Wong needs to be on the outside and then Apocalypse. And then Morgan Le Fay should be a striker. That skirmisher is doing you no good. She might, I mean, it'll help her to land an ability block on a mirror matchup, but we're finding a lot of different compositions coming into this rather than Darkhold. So let's change that ISO, let's change that placement setting and see what we can make happen there. I'm gonna give this a B+, needs those 2 little fixes. And finally in room 6, we have the Rebirth team, which is starting to get old and stale already. We're finding it's Death Seed or a variation of Death Seed that beats Rebirth or a variation of Rebirth. Now we're gonna take Nova off of this team, and we're gonna put him on that Gamma team. So we're gonna take Green Hulk off the Gamma team, we're gonna put Green Hulk in here. Green Hulk's gonna get a health boost from Captain America, and the taunt is gonna roam back and forth from those 2, making it a lot tougher. Green Hulk and Zemo are the top 2 alternative picks for this. I'm actually gonna be trying Maria Hill on mine to see if that makes a difference. Maria Hill may not last very long. She has some passive healing when people block, and this team blocks 120% of the time. So I'm gonna try Maria Hill in there as my 5th. Placement on this kind of matters. Depending on what you're using, you either want to keep Captain America and Peggy as far apart from each other as possible, or you want them right next to each other, depending on the composition. Personally, I like to put like Peggy, and then I would probably put somebody like Maria Hill or Zemo or something next to Peggy, and then go Winter Soldier, Agent, and then Captain America. Is how I would do it. It's all tweaks and, you know, your own personal feelings on that situation, whatever you'd like. Honestly, though, I don't think Nova does anything to this. When you come into this with Death Seed and Quicksilver, you can use Quicksilver to rewind Peggy. You can delete Nova rather quickly before he gets off his battlefield effect, and it doesn't do a whole lot. If you want to use Nova on this team, you can, but it doesn't really change the outcome. This is kind of the big hot target that people really have to slap with some of their best stuff. And if you add Nova in here, he's just gonna get slapped along with them. So that's why I like the regular 5-piece, because it still warrants the big attack, and they're all gonna fail eventually if people know what they are doing. So I like to keep like an APOC and a Nova and a Quicksilver. I like to keep those as offensive options, but we're putting Quicksilver with Gamma, we're putting a little bit of Gamma in here with the Rebirth team, and I think that's gonna make this really good. For me, this one's like an A-, maybe a B+ kind of in there. I'd rather see Captain America on the outside if they're gonna use Nova, but it's not too shabby. This has been Rello's defense. Like I said in the beginning, if you want your defense featured, links are in the description below. Also, I'm putting Rello's contact information down below as well, so if you want to check them out, go follow them while he's streaming or something, and be my guest. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll see you next time. Bye.